What's going on, wrestling fans? Welcome to what is not technically a Smark Out Moment Smack Talk podcast, but it's a video that's going to be really quick and it's going to be talking about something that is happening on Smark Out Moment. What I'm going to be doing here is I just kind of want to give you all a heads up on something about the 2019 Champsgiving tournament. Normally, we like to do some kind of a preview and have a full breakdown of like what we think might happen in the tournament and everything like that. We got too much on our plate right now, and I want to try to focus on some other things. So instead, I'm just giving you my thoughts very quickly on something. For those who don't know, the Champsgiving tournament is the third of 3 tournaments that I do every year. At the beginning of the year, in March, we start the Smark Madness tournament. Then in the summer, we have the Sexiest WWE Superstars tournament. And around the fall, we've got the Champsgiving tournament. This is something that I started last year. We did the best WWE World Champions of all time, at least as far as when 2018 had happened, and we did the tournament and everything like that. And this year, we were kind of going back and forth between a couple different ideas. And some of that had to do with the fact that last year's tournament wasn't really working out the way that it should have. And that's kind of one of the things that I want to mention about here. So, this year's tournament is going to be a very similar format to last year. Slightly different in some ways, but it kind of all depends. Last year, we had the best world champions. This year, we're going to have the best hardcore champion. So the goal of this tournament is going to be to take everybody who won the hardcore championship, which that title has been retired. We don't have any more champions. This is just like going to be a definitive type of thing. Everybody who had won the hardcore championship is in the running to be in this tournament. And we're going to take 32 of them, and we're going to put them in the tournament. It's going to be seeded based off of the number of reigns, and then based off of the length of the championship. If people are like, multiple people have 3 title reigns, then, they get ranked based off of the length, and so on and so forth. But last year, the way that I had things was pretty similar, and we had some buy rounds, and the setup was the way that it was. But the biggest issue that we had was people later on, they clarified that they did this too, so it's not just me guessing. People were voting based off of their overall favorite superstar. So if it was something like, for instance, Daniel Bryan beat out Hulk Hogan, now to me that's kind of crazy, but the rationalization that a lot of people had was, quote unquote, I like Daniel Bryan more. And it wasn't necessarily because they thought he had better title reigns as world champion, but that they just like him better as an overall superstar. And that kind of defeats the whole purpose of this whole thing. So try to keep in mind when it comes to something about this is going to be who is the best hardcore champion of all time. So I don't know how the whole seeding is going to work out and everything, but I'll say, for instance, right now, Crash Holly, to me, personally, is definitively a better hardcore champion than Taz. Because hardcore Crash Holly held the championship more times. He has had more memorable things going down with his title reigns than Taz. And then when you factor in the length of the title reign, he's far above that as well. So to me, definitively, Crash Holly is a better hardcore champion than Taz. Now, if this was who is the best overall superstar, then yeah, by all means, most people will probably vote Taz over Crash Holly, because Taz has been champion multiple different times in multiple different companies. He has been a commentator, like so many different things that you would factor, okay, that's better for Taz as an overall career kind of perspective. So try to keep that in mind, and don't vote for something that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Like, for instance, I'll just put another name out there. Chris Jericho is out there as having 1 title reign that lasted less than 1 day. To me, unless that 1 title reign, that 1 day, however long he's had it, I don't have exactly like the minutes and everything down. If somebody wants to figure all that out, by all means, drop a comment below. Tell me what it is for everybody's title reigns and stuff, because that might make a little bit of a factor as well. But if that is your whole, like, that was so much better than somebody who's had 6 title reigns that lasted a year, I don't know what to tell you. But just because you like Chris Jericho a lot, doesn't mean that he was necessarily a better hardcore champion than Steve Blackman or Bubba Ray Dudley. You know what I mean? So keep that in mind. And what we're doing here is we are on the qualifying round right now. So we have 30 people who I broke down as far as the reigns and the title reign flings. And I figured out the top 30. So we need 2 more people. This is a 32 kind of bracket. And at this point, we need to pick 2 more. That's how it works. So that's the math behind the whole thing. And that's what you guys are going to vote on here. We have the qualifying round is up. You've got 22 different people to pick from. They are in alphabetical order. Booker T, Chris Jericho, Christian, Christopher Nowinski, Cynthia Lynch. I don't remember who that is. Funaki, Joey Abs, Johnny Stamboli, K Quick, R-Truth. Now, remember, this is K Quick, not R-Truth. And this is K Quick's 2 less than 1 day length title reigns, not his R-Truth 24/7 championship reign. Has nothing to do with it. There's also Kurt Angle, Matt Hardy, Mighty Molly, Pat Patterson, Perry Saturn, Pete Gas, Rodney, Shane McMahon, Terry, The Hurricane, Thrasher, Trish Stratus, and Viscera. Those are the names that you get to pick 2 names from and determine who are the final 2 people that come into this tournament. Then next week, I will seed everything, sort out the bracket, and we will continue on with round 1. So keep that in mind. Vote while you can. Vote as soon as you can so you don't forget about it. And hopefully this will be a great Champsgiving. And if it doesn't work out and everybody does the whole nonsense of just voting that their favorite of all time is The Undertaker just because The Undertaker's their favorite of all time, then next year we're probably not going to have a Champsgiving tournament. Or maybe it's going to be a whole lot different. I don't know. But I wanted to give everybody a heads up about that to let them know that the polls are open. And I'm not too sure 100% when I'm going to shut them off. I'm probably going to shut them off Tuesday night. Not Tuesday night, like tonight or whatever. Obviously, that wouldn't make any sense. But Tuesday, the 29th, is probably when I'm going to shut them off. So vote while you can. And I will see you next time. Next thing that you're going to be hearing from me about is going to be the mailbag. So later on today, mailbag. Check that out. But for now, this has been another Smark Out Moment, and I'm being counted out.